guys, my name is Anastasia. Welcome to my channel. Right now it's Saturday morning, a bit early. It's rainy but bright enough to record the video. Today I thought I would do a little bit of a theme specific video. Because this video is quite lengthy and it has different parts, there will be a part about my career journey so far, what I've been doing full-time, freelance full-time, and having my own little business, plus other different points. So what I've done in the description box, I put timestamps of minutes and exactly the topics I'm covering. So if you're not interested in watching the whole thing, the whole shebang, you can click on that minute and watch the relevant part. I wanted to go through some of my thinking of working for yourself, as I was freelancing before that, and working full-time as I was all last year. Nowadays, there's a big culture of go build your own business, or no, do work for somebody full-time, and I think both things are solid and amazing. It just depends on your personality type. What are your tendencies? I wanted to start with a little life update, which I think I haven't addressed actually on the channel yet, is that I left my full-time job before Christmas. So right now I'm back to freelancing and working for myself, which has been quite a transition, mainly getting used to your own company and living alone and having just my dog as my company, my French bulldog. I wanted to show you, but you can see she's right there. It's been quite a transition because the main reason I went back to full-time work with WeWork, which was an amazing company, it's still an amazing company, I love it, is because I felt I needed more human connection on a day-to-day basis. And because before last year, so 2018, is the last year when I did my competitions before taking a much needed long break, I was feeling pretty isolated, and being an only child, I love my own company. There was a time where I thought, oh my god, I'm actually not interacting with people, and I think interacting with new people, meeting new people, especially people who are interesting and knowledgeable in areas that you are not, it just enriches your life. Being in a little fitness bubble, I felt that I really need to immerse myself into non-fitness community. The reason I applied for WeWork and the reason I loved it so much is because you interact with people who are business owners or managers and who are working in different companies. If you don't know what WeWork is, of course you can Google it, but I think everybody knows what WeWork is. So all last year I didn't really upload to YouTube because I was just working, literally. And I did feel a bit of a hamster in the wheel towards the end because my days got repetitive. I think when you are in a role, especially for my personality, once I learned something, I need a new challenge, and sometimes it's not so easy to progress because if it's a big corporation like WeWork, even though the company is growing fast and things are changing, sorry, my dog is begging to be on my lap, whoa, whoa. Even though things are changing a lot, there's still obviously hierarchy. And for me, being a fast-paced person who just learns fast and wants to move on fast, it would probably take another year or a few months to progress to the next chapter, and I just was not willing to basically stay in the same spot. And I saw an opportunity to go back to freelancing again and make it more of a sustainable thing. So a little back history into what I've been doing this far in my professional life. Of course, as any student, I had part-time jobs when I was studying. So one summer I was working in Abercrombie & Fitch in retail, and also I was working in my actual student accommodation, which was called Nido. It still exists, they just renamed it. I was a resident assistant. So it was a part-time role based in the evenings or weekends where I would have to check in with students, sit on duty at the reception, answer any questions, do night check-in, so I have to go to like all the stairs, check that everything is in order, everybody's being quiet and good. It was quite a fun social role, and definitely learned a thing or two about dealing with all sorts of questions and coming up with answers, and dealing with tempers. Sometimes people who drink too much or are feeling alone or don't have any friends. So it's always about having a good relationship with people and connecting with them and making them feel better and solving their problems. I was also in charge of organizing events there to bring the community together. For example, organizing a weekend trip to London Zoo because a lot of students were international and they needed to make friends. When I graduated university, I was doing mostly fashion internship because that's what I was studying, fashion management. Got my first full-time job from a fashion internship because it was for a lingerie brand called Myla. I was working there for 3 months as an intern, only getting my lunch and travel costs covered, and then I transitioned to a PR assistant and then to a press officer. So that role was quite fun because it was all about lingerie, which I still love, press trips and press deals, mainly PR in the beginning. So what would happen is that, let's say Vogue calls us and says, okay, we're doing a Valentine's shoot, we need lingerie. I don't know, pink lacy floral, I'm just making up a very obvious example, of these sizes we needed right now. So what I would then do as an intern, I would go to like a fashion cupboard, pick up all this lingerie, pack it up, and then wait for a courier from Vogue to pick it up from us. And then I would also obviously do chasing them to give it back to us and so on. So it was a lot of like press samples role. Stayed there for a while. I was there for nearly 2 years. I then went on a press trip for Fashion Week. So what they do, they would have these fashion weeks for just lingerie brands where we would do wholesale. So we would show a new collection to buyers from different department stores and boutiques. So I would travel with my colleague wholesale manager. I also did help with photo shoots and campaigns. So it was a really fun role where I had a long time just being on Excel, adding, I don't know, units of lingerie and what needed to be collected, what needed to be gone. It was a bit also of like cold calling all the fashion magazines, trying to ask them what they're working on right now and if they need any lingerie samples, trying to get our word out there. And this is also when social media was emerging. So I was actually running that social media account for Myla, which is quite funny because now if social media is so big and professional that you wouldn't think that a big company or established luxury company would trust a PR assistant to do that. But back in the day, it was just like a joke. They're like, oh, just do it, whatever. So I really got into social media and absolutely loved it. Yeah, and I loved the job so much. But then being a Russian person with a Russian passport, my visa expired. So I needed to renew my visa to be in the country. And Myla unfortunately did not want to sponsor me, or they didn't have the funds. So I had to leave and get another visa where I was basically self-employed. So from then on, I was doing mostly contracts jobs, so which means I couldn't work for a company full-time, just for one company. So I'm working for another company in lingerie world called Coca de Mer for a few months, full-time, basically on a contract basis. And I would just write them an invoice every month and I would pay it back into my bank account. And after that, I've done a couple of more roles like that in PR agencies, so not just lingerie, but fashion brands as well. And then I got more into social media as well in terms of work. So social media copy, which was sometimes fun, sometimes exhausting. But I would have to write maybe a bunch of tweets, a bunch of Facebook posts with images, a bunch of, I don't know, Instagram posts, and then they would approve it to the PR agency, and then they would schedule it to be posted. And my favorite part, I think, from all my jobs that far was doing events. And for example, you do fashion bloggers events where you invite all the bloggers to see the new collection of whatever it is, jewelry, lingerie, or press days, invite press and buyers to see the new collection, talk them through. So you have to meet, for example, I don't know, an editor from Marie Claire comes in and you have to greet her, establish kind of a personal contact with her and show her all the rails of all the collections and talk her through the inspiration, the fabrics, and make her excited so that when she goes away to her office in her magazines, she would maybe call me back and say, oh yeah, I want that bra for a shoot. Sorry for long ramble. So my career so far was fun and travels. My love with the lingerie companies, I did go to New York and Paris a few times, which was so much fun. I didn't even care that I didn't have time to explore the city much. It was just a fun atmosphere to be around models, and it's just a fun role. Then because I was working in lingerie again, I was following a lot of Instagram accounts, and one account that caught my eye was called For Love and Lemons, which I think is a quite well-known LA brand at this moment, and nobody in the UK was selling that brand in terms of lingerie, and I was loving it. So I contacted them and I said, look, I'm an online boutique, so I created my little blog website, which still exists. I still don't know what I will do with it. And I contact them to resell their lingerie in the UK. And they said, okay, because I guess they liked the website or they thought I'm a legit person, a legit store. I got them and 3 more brands, one UK brand called Chic Frills, and one more American brand called Arax, and one more Danish brand called Under Protection. All of these brands, what they had in common for my boutique theme is that they were soft bras, so which meant that I could flat pack and send them as a large letter. If you don't know, in the UK we have some weird standards of postage, and because I wanted to offer free shipping for customers, it will just have to be a parcel of like a folded size like that. And because in the UK we have a certain size of a shipping, sorry if I'm going into too much boring detail, it would just have to fit into the letterbox. And when I was thinking about girls ordering bras and knickers, soft bras would basically do much easier than padded big bras, you know what I mean? I was doing that for a couple of years and my life was pretty much by myself, getting these boxes in my house of just boxes of lingerie to resell. I would get deliveries maybe 4 times a year, depending on the collection. Sometimes if something sells out, I would contact the brand again, asking, okay, can you please send me more of that? It was a lot of orders, invoices, and my house was basically like a storage room of bras and knickers everywhere. And I would do some blog posts, I would run an Instagram account, and all of my marketing was done that way. Through my website, I was doing more influencer marketing. So I would contact a bunch of bloggers or beautiful girls on Instagram and ask them, hey, would you be interested in kind of a gift exchange? So I would send them a pair of underwear, and they would post in it and tag my store, and then that way you get marketing on. So of course, sometimes people would ask for money, but I didn't have the budget. So I would mostly just do a numbers game and just message, I don't know, hundreds of Instagram girls, and maybe few of them would reply with their addresses, and I would obviously post them the lingerie set, and then hopefully they would post it on their page and get a word out there. But some of them actually did not post it, so there's always a risk of you just have to account for the cost of the lingerie and postage, because not everybody would like it, or not everybody would fit it, and because I did not pay them to post my things, to promote my things, they would not always do it, just because they don't have to. They would just keep the gift. Yeah, my life was living in boxes in the house, and then going to post office every single day, packing orders. Then it was kind of going down in terms of sales, because for Love and Lemons, that brand I was initially selling, that was only me, I think, selling it in the UK. They obviously got famous, and now they had stockists in other stores and boutiques, because I did not have an exclusive partnership with them. I was just a small online boutique. I didn't have such resources to, obviously accommodate thousands of units in my house. And then they actually got stockist Selfridges. If you don't know, it's a big department store in the UK, and others as well. So basically what happened is literally, I don't know if I can call that business of mine a failure. It just ran its course. I sold all the stock I had, and that's it. I just did not buy more. I was kind of losing motivation and excitement, because it's a lot of hard work. All you have to do all day is literally post on social media, go to post office, and then write blog posts so that there's new traffic to your website. Yeah, I was just feeling isolated. And then I started to compete in fitness, of course, which was also pretty much a solo job, because you are training, eating. I was vlogging, so I guess that was a bit entertaining for me. I'm rambling so much. So after I sold all my lingerie, I actually sold the remaining bits on eBay on a reduced price, because I just wanted to get it out of my house. It just was annoying me, and I gifted a few things to my friends. So it was a nice kind of closure not to have any of this lingerie in the house. The website still exists, the Instagram page still exists. I'm still not sure what to do with it. Maybe I will rebrand it and sell different products. Don't know. Then after getting into fitness, I was going back to my freelance roles, doing a lot of contract works for PR agencies and work from home. So I would do, I think I covered in one of my videos a couple of years ago what things I was doing. Right, social media content. I didn't really do photography for brands because I'm not the best. So literally it would be words, social media contact, organizing bloggers events, or I don't know, contacting influencers. And then after competing 2018, I was feeling, oh my God, I'm just isolated myself into this little bubble, and I don't want to do my lingerie anymore. What can I do? I was basically not lost, but I just wanted some interaction. So I applied for WeWork, which was fun, because it was my role was kind of business development for Russia, UK, and South Africa. What I would have to do, I would have to research a lot of interesting companies who are fast growing, have enough money to move into WeWork, because WeWork, of course, is a premium workspace and communities and services. Amazing company, I love it. So that was what I was doing the whole last year, researching the companies, trying to find the decision makers, contacting them, speaking to them on the phone, trying to get them to the building to see the space and eventually pay the rent. Working in a company, it's super fun, because you get to hang out with the same people every day. And if you like those people, like I did, it's just so much fun and banter. And sometimes I caught myself being so serious. It took me a while to adjust being not on my own, but surrounded by people. And it's just so exciting and fun. But I equally enjoy time alone. So it's just what you want. At the same time, in 2018, I did my PT qualification online. So now I was able to actually satisfy the little demand I had for online coaching for fat loss. And it's such a cliche nowadays when you see anybody who competes in bikini, or competitors of bodybuilding that everybody's a personal trainer, everybody's an online coach. But if you think of the word personal trainer, it does mean personal. So there's only that many clients one personal trainer or one online coach can have. Maybe it's 20, maybe it's 45, but if you think about giving attention to every single person, even on a minimal basis, like once a week, it is quite time consuming, especially if you are customizing their workouts, if you are customizing their meal plans. And sometimes it's not that much customization, it's more about accountability. People just want somebody they report to on a weekly basis, because I think this is the main reason for hiring a coach. And also there's a movement of clients, because for me personally, I've been doing it online coaching now with a handful of clients. I don't have many clients, but it's a handful and they're great people. I don't want them to stay with me forever, because it's just not fair on them. I want to educate them and I want them to take their own journey, because people I work with are not competitors, they're just normal women and people who just want to do a bit of body recomposition and they're unsure what to do in the gym or what to eat. So I help them with that. And I just want to help them maybe for, 16 weeks or 32 weeks, maybe even a year. And then they can just take matters into their own hands. So they know how to count macros, they know what food portions are, they know it's okay to eat flexibly, it's okay to eat Snickers, it's okay to eat clean. I was working full-time last year. I did grow my online client base. So I would have my full-time job Monday to Friday. I would be exhausted. In the evenings, I would literally come back home, pick up my dog from a dog sitter or from a neighbor, whatever I was leaving her, have my dinner, watch some Netflix, train, and repeat. On the weekends, I would do my online clients and then maybe have something social. And yeah, I was just kind of exhausted. So when I left WeWork before Christmas, I just had like a month for myself. I relaxed. It was a bit weird. I was like, oh my God, what do I do now? Of course, I still had my online clients, but it was still a bit odd. Last year, I traveled, I think 4 times, but literally I was saving all my money because I knew that eventually I want to go back to freelancing. I just love it. I love the independence of doing what you want when you want. And I'm a type of person, again, who likes change, who likes new challenges. It was an amazing experience. And I think the reason I took that role is because it was, first of all, cool company, second of all, amazing perks and benefits, and there was a pension scheme, insurance, health insurance, and it's important. I mean, people don't talk about it, but when you're self-employed, you pay for all of this stuff as an extra, but when you are working with a big company, it's much better in terms of benefits. And I was just saving all my money, so I knew that when I would leave, I would have a bit of a cushion or a pillow to sit on, because I always like to have savings. Whenever I don't have savings, for at least, 2-3 months. If you are a fan of Dave Ramsey, you would know what emergency fund is. If I don't have savings in my bank account, I just freak out and I get anxious, and it's the worst feeling ever. I feel like I'm a money-driven person, but only for the point of being secure and have some sort of freedom to, for example, if you want to go on holiday, you can go on holiday, but I'm not the type of person who needs like millions of pounds. Maybe I would want that eventually. It's more about having a comfort level so that you can use your creativity for other projects and not worry about how you're going to pay your water bill. Right now, what I've been doing, I've been replying to more inquiries in terms of my fitness coaching, and I really want to compete this year, as you know, and it's expensive. And I might get another job this year, but I think I would go for something more contractual basis or part-time, maybe something in, conferences or events. And I'm a strong believer that career is not that important in terms of career word, but I think it's important to make money to satisfy the lifestyle that you want. So I don't think that you have to stay in one job for whole your life just to have this career ladder thing, because you can have different sources of income. Maybe you can have 3 part-time jobs if you want that, or you can do whatever you want just as long as it's making you money, hustling. Some of my favorite things is going to charity shops, finding some branded clothing, a shirt from Tommy Hilfiger for £1 and reselling it on eBay for 25, and that's like 20 pounds in my pocket. I just like to find different ways of income and get it together. It's almost like a fun survival thing. I think this is all that money is. You need to find creative ways to add value to people's lives and just hustle. And I think when I think of jobs and changing industries, a lot of people say, oh, if you don't stay in the same industry, you will downgrade when you go to the next role. So for example, if I was in PR and marketing and I went into sales, I started at a more junior role. So I was working with people who are younger than me. And that's okay. Who cares nowadays? I don't think you have to be so, oh, okay, I'm 30 years old, so I have to work in a managerial position. Who cares? If it's enough money to get you by and enough to pay your bills and some leisure activities that you enjoy. If you are in a career that's not super fulfilling, just try a different industry or try something else. Of course, it's important to have some savings so that you actually can jump. I wanted to conclude with all of this. If you do want to work for yourself, qualities that you need to have are resourcefulness, which means running a business or being a freelancer. There is never a guide how to do it. I mean, there are a million business books, everybody tells you this and everybody tells you that, but it never really works like that, because this is life. You deal with people, and people have different personalities, people have different needs, and you can't predict what would the person need, what would work. You just cannot do it. So you just need to be okay with being uncertain about what will happen next, but be resourceful and see an opportunity in a network. Second most important thing in being self-employed is discipline. Because if you work for somebody, it's very straightforward, because you have to show up to work. Okay, you can call in sick a couple of times a year, but you have to show up every single day, and there's a manager or there's a colleague who is watching you. But when you work for yourself, there's nobody. So you can go in two extremes if you work for yourself. You can either go crazy workaholic mode, which I've done before, and you drive everybody nuts because you feel anxious if you're not working every single day, every single minute, every single weekend. Or you can just be like completely, oh, fuck it, I'll just live on my savings and not do anything. And then one day you will wake up and you're like, oh my God, I have no money. So you need to make your own schedule. You need to make your own routine of where you're working, where you're not. And I think this type of lifestyle is not for everybody, because it's, again, isolating. You need to be a strong-willed person to make yourself do things. And it's almost like going to the gym. I always make fitness examples. If you are struggling to show up to a gym section because you want to have a nice body or you want to get healthier, but you can't force yourself, maybe working for yourself wouldn't be a great option for you. Maybe you're the type of person who needs authority, you need somebody to watch over you. When people ask me about the future and what I want to do with my career, I just want to have roles where I find the task interesting, or at least something that I'm learning from, or at least when I work with somebody who inspires me and teaches me new things. Important thing for me personally when I do my jobs, be around people, but also have some alone time. I think I'm super chilled about this whole career ladder and having one job on the resume, be okay with the stigma of that I jumped around different companies and different careers. Because if people think I'm just, I can't settle in, yeah, it's probably true. I get bored and I need something new. And maybe this is why life of freelancer, self-employed, and a contractor is perfect for me. Not everybody is okay with staying in one place. Not everybody is that stable. I mean, life is just life. You have so many freaking opportunities, especially if you live in a big city. Oh, you can move to a big city. Or if you don't like a big city, you don't have to. You can do something online. There are so many things that you can do. Another important thing to highlight is that nowadays people have so many options, and if you deep inside have a certain urge to try yourself in a different industry, don't feel that you will be judged, because in the end of the day you will judge yourself if you have not tried it. So one of the girls I used to work with at WeWork, she left because she always loved fashion and she studied law before. So she was a lawyer, then she was doing sales at WeWork, and now she's doing fashion internships, styling, for not much money. And I think it's all about, expressing yourself and getting fulfillment. And if you have certain fantasies of yourself trying something, whether it's be creative or more manual or whatever it is, just try it. There is really no harm. I think it's important if you are in an online world like myself, that I'm trying to establish my own brand more, even though I think right now I'm not in a great position, because with fitness, unless you look the part, unfortunately, as much as we want to talk about body positivity or acceptance or the way women look, doesn't matter, unless I'm more or less lean, in shape, and I have a lot of social media content that proves that, being, I don't know, great workout videos or high quality photos with abs and more revealing, more skin. I'm not gonna attract that much attention in the fitness scheme, let's be honest, because there's just it's a saturated market nowadays with much higher standard than it was before a couple of years ago. Even if you're a competitor, it's not a big deal because everybody is a competitor. Okay, not everybody, it's a small pool, but you know what I mean. There's a lot of people who are putting out much better quality content. Having said that, there's still, I believe, a big market for anybody who wants to be an online coach or a personal trainer. Because as I've mentioned, there's only a handful of clients that you can handle individually, and there's an ocean of people, there are millions of people who need help. So don't feel judged even if you want to do this generic, classic online coach. It's cool. You will help people, and there will be people who will connect with you. And I think people connect with online coaches and personal trainers firstly on a personal level. So if they like your personality, they like your sense of humor, they like your approach, they will go for you. If you're in online space and you are into blogging, YouTubing, I think there's also still space for it. I really want to give it a bigger shot this year, hence uploading more regular videos, uploading more blog posts. That's something I need to do more. And educate yourself about affiliate links, especially with Amazon. Try to cold approach different brands if you like that product, even food companies. Don't just stick to supplement companies. Try different things and fail and try again. It's just what life is. I still have some industries in my dream career pipeline that I want to try, and I don't care if I would be 40 something and I don't know, starting from scratch, like having a kid and moving to LA with my husband and trying to be an actress. Just a stupid example, but you know what I mean. It doesn't matter what age you are, there's always an opportunity to be whatever. If you want to be a cool florist, a gardener, a painter, oh, I'm ranting now. Even a dog walker. Like, if I'm 70 and I have my pension, I'm bored, I'll probably be a dog walker like a couple of times a week, because I'll get fresh oxygen, I'll get exercise. I love dogs. And you also meet people, the owners, and you talk to them about stuff, and you meet people also in dog parks. I think that every job in the world is amazing because it's useful, it does something. Like the other day I was watching through my window, there was a pipe blockage by God knows what, and there was this draining team that do probably one of the dirtiest jobs in the world, and there's like 4 guys trying to unblock the pipes and with their gloves going through God knows what, like literal shit, sorry for the word, but it's what they literally do, and they're adding value to the world. So I think another thing about creating your own business or going freelance is trying to just actually think, what value would you give to the world, what product that you are inventing or selling that's helping people with whatever it is. Bottom line of this whole video, career, freelance, self-employed, just chill, do something that enriches you. If you are somewhere in your life where you are bored with your career, or you want more stability maybe as well, maybe you've been freelancing and self-employed and you are afraid, frankly, of other people judging you when you go back to full-time. Maybe people will be like, oh, she failed, who cares? You know, if you feel safe and you like the routine of waking up every morning, hanging out with lovely colleagues, you know, banter, it's a good, really good structure to the life. And I think regardless of what you do, you will still need structure, whether you like it or not. Every industry pretty much, you'll still have to sit on the computer and do things you don't want to do. It's not all like travel and fancy parties and glamorous gifts. And every job will have its mundane things. No job is exciting 24/7. I mean, even being self-employed, yes, you can choose your own hours, yes, you can do whatever you want to, that's fun, but you will still have to do the boring stuff that's mundane. You have to cold call people, you have to approach people, you have to deal with problems and deliveries and post offices and customers. It's never so easy and simple, but that's cool. It's just some problem solving on a daily basis, regardless of whether you are sitting in the office or if you are in a coffee shop with your laptop. So that is my little story. I hope that was interesting or insightful at least. Let me know if you have any questions. If you watched this video to the very end, I really appreciate you, and I hope you find a role, a job, a career, whatever it is that's making you money to cover your basic needs, your shelter, and covers your lifestyle financially to whichever level you want to live. If you want to, you know, live in minimalism and enjoy simple things in life, or whether you want to ball the fuck out and live in, I don't know, mansions and drive in Ferraris. It's all about choices and lifestyle. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye!